Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching Star Ladder. It is StarSeries Season 7. We are at day number 9. We're gonna see 4 games today, and this is game number 1. I already want to make a mention that probably if you don't really have your... if you're not even really able to have your full attention to this game, like only listening to the stream in the background, I know that I sometimes do that. If I'm like having to do other stuff as well. If you do have time to at least only watch one game, like fully focused today, I'm gonna suggest you watch at least the next game, which is gonna be Virtus Pro versus Fnatic. But of course, back to this one, it will be Uebelst taking on Team Menace. So it is a Finland versus Germany. I will not be by myself today, by the way. I am joined by Vikrant. Vikrant, welcome back.
Good to be back, Shaver. Pretty good slate of games today, and I am interested in how this first one goes. Uebelst is a team that we've seen do everywhere from really well to really poorly, so not super consistent so far this Star Ladder season, but definitely very capable of making good games. And Menace is another team, it's hard to see where they're going to shake out, right? Like, they've done very well. They have non-traditional drafts. They use the new heroes a lot. And they've got... The fundamentals are there, and sometimes they still just make some mistakes and don't end up winning. So this could actually be a really good game, even though these are two not super well-known teams.
Yeah, I'm kind of secretly having a bit of idea that I want Uebelst to win. And the reason for that is that they are so far... I mean, I know I said this Friday, because I said, like, you know what? In the season, there's nobody who has got 0 wins. But the only reason Uebelst had 0, or that Uebelst had a win, was because CD had a win up against KP. And of course, yesterday, or the day before that, they had a bit of a rematch, and in the end, KP won. So that means that Uebelst got a win taken away from them, and they are now 0-6. And I really want to have at least a win there, in there.
You want this to be a season where everybody gets at least one win? Yeah. I think it's possible. I think they certainly can beat Menace. Menace, a team that I think is a little bit mechanically more sound. Like, they probably will do better in the laning phase, but that doesn't mean that Uebelst's team fight won't be able to take a lot of fights. Like, they actually... If memory serves, the Kaipi game was pretty close.
It was a really good game.
And yeah, they basically lost that game because they just didn't farm as well. But farm is a thing that's fixable. It's just a lot of time and practice that really gets you to the level of... I mean, Sing Sing in that game was basically out farming 3 players on Uebelst.
Scary Shadow Fiend, that was.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we have here. IO Rider banned out, no surprise there, with a Life Stealer also removed by Uebelst. We are not gonna see an OD, nor Naga, nor a Alchemist, and a Visage banned out as well. A Baron, however, picked up by Menace, and a Weaver with that, so that's already like a bit of the old Tree Weaver combination, but now, as you call them, Dark Tree Weaver. Strong dual lane, if you're gonna have those together, basically opening up the safe lane still for a nice safe dual lane and a nice strong mid if you want. I do like Uebelst's pickups though. I mean, the Bane basically an anti-carry. They pick up a Shadow Fiend for themselves as well, so that's their mid. Quite early Shadow Fiend, I believe, but a Clockwork for their off lane will definitely be a nice one as well.
Yeah, second pick phase is
your Dota TV apparently is not working. I have to toggle it on and off.
Okay. I'll toggle it. It should be working, and I see it going, but people could try to move off the channel and back on, I guess. I'm not sure. It should be going.
Oh, yeah. If you don't hear Vikrant after that change, when he says something the next time he says something, then let us know in the chat and we'll try to fix it. Of course, Dota TV sometimes still having those issues where we have to toggle things on and off to just try and make it work for real, but we'll work through it, so let us know. Hello,
either way,
Warlord.
it should be working. It is picking up my sound. It's not just... Sometimes you get just changes sound devices on you, but it should be fine. Yeah, Menace really like the new heroes, especially Abaddon. They prioritize Abaddon picks very highly relative to most teams. The big difference between the old Tree plus Weaver and now Abaddon plus Weaver is to get the benefit on your Weaver, you have to lane them together. Whereas the Tree Weaver was usually, the Tree would be in a different lane and the Weaver would be solo and they would get all that benefit. But for Dark Tree, you definitely have to put them together. Not that Weaver is the only hero that he pairs well with. Menace in general really like this hero because it helps them where they're already the strongest, which is like laning in early team fights. And Troll is just a hero that's very good as well. He really ramps your capability to both push and split push. He doesn't even, if Weaver gets a fast Desolator, Troll doesn't even need to be there. He can just help Weaver break a base extremely quickly by just pressing R button. Or, you know, whatever the legacy key for Battlecry is, which I forget.
Sure.
I don't remember what the key is.
I have no idea.
Either way.
Yeah.
Uebelst, Luna is a fairly uncommon pickup these days, but what this does give them is some ability to counteract the sort of early game dominance that I think Menace are going to want to get. Because, you know, Luna is a hero who, even though she carries late, she does that tremendous amount of magic damage early on.
Yeah, she can definitely hold her own, and especially if she gets a fast BKB, will definitely have an impact and already able to join fights. One thing that I'm worried for Uebelst, though, is before the level 6s start to hit, and now especially with a Vengeful Spirit, I mean, there was still some space in Menace to go for maybe more heavy roaming support, as I don't think the chance for Uebelst is really there, even though with the Bane is not bad. But if Vengeful Spirit is going to be roaming together with Abaddon, that's going to be pretty scary for that Shadow Fiend. And also, I mean, they don't really have that much they can do against a roaming combination coming up from Menace right now. It really depends on that last support that Uebelst is going to pick up. I mean, there's still a chance for them also to maybe be a little bit more aggressive in that early game. But other than that, they just have to wait and see and just not die too much until they do have that BKB ready, until they do have the Shadow Fiend with decent souls and such.
Yeah, this Venge pick is definitely about an even more major focus on aggression. If they wanted to play a little more defensive later game, they probably would have gone with Rubik, just to work on, I mean, Bane and Luna both have very attractive spells for Rubik to steal. So the fact that they chose Venge is for a couple of reasons. Aura is very useful, so the Aura gives all your heroes damage, and then Troll battle trances, and you do a lot of damage very, very quickly. Uebelst, for that part, they pick Enigma into VS, which is, they really like this hero, like they run Enigma a lot, but this is going to have to be very careful Enigma play, since of course Vengeful Spirit, one of the heroes typically tasked with, you know, ruining Enigma's day with a swap, which works through BKB.
Yeah, we haven't seen Enigma that often, but when we have seen him, it was normally on Uebelst, especially on last Wednesday, I believe. We saw him a couple of times.
Yeah,
and
other teams... Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, other teams just don't really favor him that much. And again, it's not really a hero that can... He can be active early on, but I think they want to try and get that most advantage what they can out of the jungle, just to get as much farm as they can, to get ahead, to start fighting as early as possible. I mean, if they get their team fight together, it's pretty scary, to be fair. But
it is.
They have to first reach that point, and I'm curious to see if Menace is not able to shut that down before that actually starts to happen.
Yeah, I do think that Enigma is a hero that is getting a little bit more attention lately. He's a hero that, of course, has this excellent ultimate for teamfights, but also has strong early game presence in the form of Malefice and Eidolons, and he's difficult to lock out of farming. Whereas Magnus, who's a hero who completely obsoleted Enigma, but now we don't see him as often. This is a cool pick, Spirit Breaker. Again, Spirit Breaker is a hero who's going to benefit tremendously from Troll's ultimate. I actually think if they had gone with Menace, could have maybe picked up Enigma, just because Battle Trance will let you just push insanely quickly. But Spirit Breaker is a cool pick. Again, Menace, they like these offbeat heroes, and he goes well with Troll. If this Spirit Breaker does well enough, they're probably going to run solo Weaver and then a tri-lane around the Spirit Breaker. And that could be very, very strong. Oh my god, no, it's Carry Venge. Okay.
Awesome. I like it.
Huh.
I like it. It's a bit. It's old school.
Yeah.
Nope. Nobody bought a courier.
Xbox at the grand finals of TI3. They did not buy a courier. That's
there we go.
True. But
the pistol gets some stuff. Zonky out indeed.
I don't know what I think about the Venge carry actually.
Maybe Spirit Breaker support.
Yeah, I almost like Spirit Breaker in a farming role a little more, but Venge scales a little better late game. She did, of course, get a pretty big boost to her strength gain, which is actually, even though she's an agility hero, the strength gain is pretty important because one of the problems with Venge carry is she's just extremely easy to kill. So strength gain definitely helps her a lot in that respect. And she can do a lot of damage. Damage was never the issue. She's actually a very competent hero at just pure damage dealing.
Yeah, she just was a bit squishy, and her range isn't as long as you might want it to be if she is indeed that squishy, because there's other squishy heroes that you can pick with longer range that also do decent damage.
That's definitely true. She does give you, though, that swap
Yeah.
The great thing about Carry Venge, well, I'll get to another bad thing about Carry Venge in a second, but the great thing is, usually Venge, when she swaps, is sacrificing herself, right? It's like, I'm going to trade my life for the life of whatever hero I'm swapping. And that's an okay trade a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Carry Venge doesn't need to make that trade. She can swap and actually probably survive the swapping process while still killing that person.
Yeah, we are gonna see Vengeful Spirit on the dual lane, by the way. Supported by the Spirit Breaker means that we're gonna do a lane for the top lane as well, and that Abaddon will indeed be supporting Spin on his Weaver. Let's just go over who's playing what, because we already mentioned a couple, but Spin will be playing the Weaver. He is going to be supported by the stand-in. It will be Nuerti who will be playing the Abaddon on the top lane. In the mid lane it will be Boogie. He's already got an Enfeeble on him, which kind of hurts, but he'll be okay. He is a Troll Warlord, and of course it's just the Enfeeble to try and get Exist a little bit easier of a time to get himself some more souls. Sifla, as said, will be Vengeful Spirit, and then last one indeed will be Lepis on the Spirit Breaker. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. And Menace are a team, actually, they've been one of the big pioneers of this new, like, suddenly dual laning is a thing again, actually. It was not a thing for several years, and Abaddon makes dual laning a lot more attractive because he's a very good dual lane hero. His ability to utterly dominate the laning phase really makes it viable for you to run, for instance, 2v3 lanes and not feel totally helpless doing so. The last time a hero had that level of impact was when Undying was very popular. He also made certain dual lanes, but Abaddon is actually far more versatile in terms of who he can lane with than Undying was. So it's a really neat hero. It does open up the possibility of these 2-1-2s, and Menace runs these a lot, but a big function of that is the fact that they run Abaddon a lot. Looking at Uebelst, they've got Exist in the middle lane on Shadow Fiend. The off lane, 1v2, will be piloted by EDE Dota. His clockwork has actually been really good. The first couple times we saw this player, he was struggling a little bit to make Nature's Prophet work, but his clockwork has been very strong. And then the tri-lane up top, Alex on the Bane, ex-Mouse player, RMN on the Enigma, and Sky on the Carry Luna.
Yeah, I really like that Ed is playing the Clockwork again, and for people that haven't seen him play this hero before and want to see some more games after this one, if you say like, okay, that was actually quite some nice play, I want to see more of that, go check out the VOD of KP versus Uebelst that was played on Friday, because it was a very enjoyable game to watch as well, as Ed is playing in a very enjoyable Clockwork for sure. Charge
already coming in on Exist. They really need to equalize this mid lane again, because the beginning, well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, the slow is already there. Can they actually take him down with the axes? They might have a chance here. He has to dodge. Is there extra movement speed? There is no aura up on the Spirit Breaker, so Boogie will just have to run for it. He does have no boots, and Exist doesn't have either, but it's not worth chasing for. Nice movement from Exist in the end, realizing he couldn't just walk straight forward towards his tower.
Yeah. That said, they wasted a lot of... The salve was almost completely useless. In fact, he has to ferry himself another salve and is being held off of his bottle. So even without the kill, that was a worthy Spirit Breaker dive. And he's just charging again. Yeah. This is actually really smart.
They're gonna dive him behind the tower. This time he's already way lower on damage. In comes the Axis, and in comes the first blood. Boogie takes it. And all the effort that the Bane was here for, the effort that he spent to try and get Exist in the game, was wasted?
Yeah. It wasn't even just Bane. They actually also did the typical Enigma spawns his first set of Eidolons from creeps.
Yeah.
And they sent the Eidolons into the mid lane to harass trolls. So he was enfeebled, and there were Eidolons, and he had one less creep in the first wave because Enigma had demonic converted it. So with all that said, Boogie still has an advantage in this lane now.
Yeah, that first blood, very important to get that early gold up, to get that early advantage. Of course, Exist, if he gets some more souls, his last hitting will definitely still continue. The question will be, how much pressure is Menace going to apply with that Spirit Breaker? Because we've seen Spirit Breaker supports before, and even though he's not got any mana now, when he has it again, he is one of those heroes that just wants to continuously move around. He needs to move around, he needs to make kills happen, otherwise, why pick up a Spirit Breaker support?
Right. I mean... especially in this game where it's not as important, for instance, that you just pick him against Lifestealer to stun him.
Exactly.
So I agree with you. He also is... you can see that they're just sort of hanging out. EDE is just jumping in here, ruining Spirit Breaker's jungle a bit, and there's not that much that Spirit Breaker without mana can really do to respond to this Clockwork. So Clock doing just fine so far, level 4. For their part, the top lane, Nuerti is level 3, so the good thing about this 2-1-2 lane is that you don't have an XP starved tri-lane. You just completely avoid having that issue.
Look at that! He is maybe able to get a kill again. He's got level 2 in battery assault, and one more hit, he gets a kill. He has to run though. Sifla might get himself a kill as well. He does have boots. Eid only has got normal brown boots. Well, there is of course Tranquils up on Sifla. He tries to cut the creeps, or cut the trees at least. In comes a charge as well. They really want to take this guy down, and I think they should be able to, especially with the charge incoming. Eid tries to run at least as far away as possible, maybe able to deny him to a tower.
Charge is also free
nice
TP,
cogs.
So.
In comes the charge though. In comes the Spirit Breaker.
He's gonna hit. He almost hit the cogs, but he's gonna be fine.
He's gonna be fine. Nice attempt from Eat though. Boom. You're dead. Lapiz gets revenge.
The thing is, it means he didn't have to pay for a TP either, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
It's great.
And I mean, you are back on full mana. Like when you charge, you use the mana when you start charging. And if you charge from the fountain onwards, you get yourself back to full mana again by the time you leave the fountain area. So that's pretty neat.
Troll mid is a thing that I expect we'll probably see more of. Right now, it's only a few teams experimenting with it. I know Menace likes it. Kaipi likes it quite a bit as well. We actually initially saw Menace use him in like a 1 or a 3 role, but I like him in this 2 role, honestly. It gets him the levels that he wants. And Troll is a very good mid. By the way, they're charging.
Yeah, they're charging. Oh, they can't.
It's too far. He's too far under the tower. Yeah. That was smart positioning from Exist. But he's having a tough time. He's only 13 for 5. He has not maxed his souls. He's only at 14.
Yeah, and there's 23 for 9 up on Buki, so he's doing a really good job here on this mid lane for sure. I mean,
the power of whirling axes makes Troll very able to bully people in this lane. Like you can just see he walks up, converts to melee, and Exist has to move off the lane. He's not even casting whirling axes that often. He's mostly just using it for its like lane bullying capability.
His harassment power is so, I mean, you can just switch from melee to range so fast. Like it's really no effort whatsoever. In the meantime, the top lane is doing pretty okay, I'd say. They're not stopping Luna from farming though, another cat lady.
Yeah. But they wouldn't expect to, probably.
But Mirana, why? Seriously, cat ladies. Luna is sitting at 26
Similar accents,
for 4.
too.
Yeah, true. At 26 for 4, while the Weaver is sitting on 27 for 1. So very even on the lane. They are able to, like, with the Bane, you can, of course, protect your carry very well. But they're not able to stop. Oh, wait a second. Eidkin, he has another flare. No, he doesn't have any mana. Maybe he gets it in time, though. He only has 15 mana to go. In comes the Salve. That will be putting Sipla back up. And Eid, is he actually going to try to do something here? Nah, he's not going to be able to. Never mind that.
In the top, this is, now that Araman is 6, I think Uebelst would really love to make something happen here, because they have not held Spin off of farming. He's farming just as well as Sky is. And they've got the troll farming and the Venge
they're coming in. In comes a black hole. Almost caught too, but it's only Spin. Eclipse, that will be Spin going down for sure. They'll let him die. Sentry was there, and Uerti tries to run for it. Doesn't have boots, but has got shield, of course, and is fairly safe because of it. However, because of the aura of Sky and the Eidolons here, this might be a lot of damage done towards this tier 1 tower. Maybe Uerti can stop the push from happening. With the shield, it's actually pretty good anti-push. Put a shield on the creep, it will explode. Pretty nice.
I think they can... No, this is probably a tower. They have used fortifications, so maybe they could charge Spirit Breaker in and then make something happen, but... Araman, that was a smart use of Black Hole. Take down the Weaver, slow down the Tricore approach, and at least do a lot of harassment to tower.
Yeah, here comes the charge.
Here comes the charge.
They want to try and take him down. In comes also Spin. He already has a shield on. He walks back into sentry range, though, and I think the charge is going to get cancelled. Yep, there we go. It's going to be Lapiz back on the lane.
Pretty smart from Uebelst to not stay on that tower. They don't need to kill this tower just now. In fact, in some respects, it wouldn't even be that good, simply because it would create a lane where Spin can probably solo after a while if the lane comes back far enough.
Yeah, this Vengeful Spirit, by the way, 38-5, doing really well in the last hits. Is in the top 3 together with the Enigma, which of course also took down some jungle creeps, and his solo mid, of course, Boogie on his Troll Warlord, who is still doing really well. But this Vengeful Spirit, I'm really curious to see when she's going to try to make something happen, when she's going to leave her bottom lane. She's looking to build towards some drums. But we haven't seen this as often, and I haven't seen this from Sifla before. Actually, he might be able to take down Eid. Is there going to be a swap? There might be. And if there... No, gets out of range in time.
Nobody's there to do more damage. Boogie wasn't...
Oh, maybe still. Swap still. And another hit. There we go. That's a kill.
Doesn't need to swap.
No,
Stun is very, very beefy if you level it first. 325 magic damage plus the Wave of Terror is just an excellent spell. So that was a nice kill. Clockwork playing... I mean, I'm sure he hasn't got that much practice against Venge carries. but the damage is respectable. She's going the stats build, like just a bunch of overall stats items, because Venge does have pretty low base stats, and she needs to build up things like her strength and a little bit of the mana pool.
Yeah, and for that reason, of course, drums is a really great
Look at
item.
how much harassment
Oh,
this is. He's
yeah,
gonna die.
and oh my god, that Berserker's Rage need used for that nice charge actually helping out our men coming in. In comes a Hastrun, hook shot misses Eid. Close call, would have otherwise had himself a Troll Warlord on his hook. For sure.
But that was Boogie just playing really smart. Eid had, Clockwork had no vision, so he hook shotted the most likely approach, but Troll like ducked with his haste rune. Yeah. He was at 40 HP at the end of that. That was very, very good kill on the Shadow Fiend and good escape.
Yeah, and the charge wasn't even needed in the end. Apart from, well, it was still handy to.
They want to swap.
Yeah,
Luna.
Venge. Look at Sifla looking for a swap. In comes the Berserker's Rage, stuns up Alex, now realizes he's in maybe slightly over his head, it goes away again, of course a lot of TPs coming in, Alex then exists, realizing that there's a fight top, maybe Sifla still in some trouble, gets a Malefice, still has a stun, there is no black hole for another 10 seconds, actually no mana upon our men regardless, TP out from Sifla because the 3 ticks have done, never mind, hello Alex, hello Nightmare, hello Cogs, and bye Sifla.
Yeah, Menace dove a little too hard there probably, they only pay the Vengeful Spirit, but it is carry VS, so... not somebody they necessarily wanted to lose, but they have other farmers.
Yeah, and they're actually
Sky
trying to take
trouble.
down Sky here. In comes an Calypso. Whoa! Abaddon, careful there. Hasn't spec'd his level 6 just yet. Now he has. As Luna still ends up going down to spin. Well, next time
meanwhile,
at least...
Boogie split pushes.
Yeah, I think he got level 6 off that kill, actually. Didn't have it beforehand.
The...
Abaddon, I mean.
Yeah, he got it after the kill on Luna. The thing is, Boogie getting pretty close to BKB, and Luna, because of that death, is being held off of BKB for a pretty long time. Like, you can see he has the Ogre Club already. One thing is that they, again, an issue that Uebelst have been having is I think sometimes their strategies are sound, but, like, some of the mechanics, so, like, you would really want Sky to be a little more farmed here. He has the Tranks, but not the drums. And he already feels like he has to rush for the BKB, instead of getting the full Joe build of the, like, Tranks, Drums, and Akala, and then BKB.
And they go here for Ermin. There goes the stun already. That's gonna be one kill. The charge up on Alex. Spearbreaker's a long way away, though, and Alex will die before he gets there, I think. There's too many people bashing on him. Double kill for a spin. Sky gets himself out. He will live, but I think they have to give up the tier 1 tower on the top lane.
I think they probably do, and unfortunately they're doing a good job at this point. Unfortunately for Uebelst, I should say. Menace are doing a very good job of keeping their Luna off farming. The Shadow Fiend now, he has had a bit of a free lane because Troll Warlord left, and that's very important. But losing this tier 1 is something they can do nothing about, and something that they won't like to see.
Yeah, Sky tries to cut the creeps away from the tower, but yeah, there's just nothing they can do at the moment. Abaddon actually taking the last hit of the tower, getting himself some extra gold. Not bad at all, because he is kind of behind on his gold, I guess. I mean, he's been supporting Spin the whole time. So that tower definitely helps him get some survivability in, if you will.
For mech, yeah.
Yeah.
He wants that mech eventually.
And with the tower,
Exist being chased by Spiritbreaker. They don't have detection, but obviously Spiritbreaker... Oh, they do! Sentry Ward on Spiritbreaker. Nice TP, though.
Yeah, we already have Boogie otherwise around, but... Oh, wow. Hello, Roshan. Oh, in comes a black hole. Catches out Sifla and Huerti. That's gonna be 1 net already, and with the burrow time already popped, that's gonna be 2 indeed. And nice black hole usage of our men. 2 heroes caught out.
That
they
was
were just
also...
aggressive.
Yeah, very wonky positioning from Menace there, honestly. Again, more deep than it warranted.
Let's see if they can try and take something off of this. The tier 1 tower mid already taking a lot of harassment. Fortification comes out again. Eid looking for a hookshot. Oh wow, that was missed inside of his own creep. Bit of a shame, of course, looking for Boogie there. In comes the Cog still, though. Maybe Boogie now out of mana. In comes Lapis, though. And that's gonna be Lapis dead. But as is Clockwork, tower still drops. No deny on the tower. Down goes Sky. I'm just in the wrong place. I don't know why he was there. Why he didn't back off with the rest of his team.
Yeah, that was definitely a mistake by Sky on the Luna there. They did buy back the Spiritbreaker for really no reason in the end. Had it been a bigger team fight, that would be one thing, but the buyback of the Spiritbreaker pulled back. I guess it was just to make sure everybody pulls back, but Luna doesn't, ends up dying. He is going for drums after all, so he went Ogre Club and now he's sidetracking into the drums. I think drums is a good item for Luna. I'm just worried about the death push.
Here comes the TP though, Uebelst. They know that they need to fight something. They know that they need to slow something down. Question is, how are they going to try to do that? Spin already gets a shield. Our man doesn't really have any mana to do anything, not even enough mana to pop his mech. But there's 5 people here now, and Uebelst in the mid lane. In comes a swap. Exists in a lot of trouble, getting charged as well. Mechanism though, there it was again. Lopez charges himself in, gets himself sucking cogs, and gets himself Fiend's Grip. Ends up going down. Down with the Enigma as well. Maybe Sky can make something happen. Spin in this as well. Use this time lapse. Gets himself out. Eat still going down at the backside because Siflak came around. Gets himself a heal, but it's not enough. Oh, the shield just in time. 9 HP. I was never worried. Down goes Exist. It looks like down goes Sky as well, and that would be a team wipe. But Vengeful Spirit staying alive in this. Insane. Yeah. Menace.
That's the power of Dark Tree. That was... He was just spamming that Aphotic Shield, and that Mist Coil ends up saving pretty much everybody that Uebelst could want to go on. Weaver completely dominant in that fight, just always in the backcourt, with a couple shields at the beginning, and what do you do as Uebelst, right? You've got all this damage, and you just can't layer it on thick enough. The other huge problem, and this is one of the problems with Luna these days, Luna becomes extremely strong in teamfights around level 11 when she gets the extra 3 hits for her Eclipse Beam, because it turns Eclipse from kill 1 person into quite possibly kill 2 people and do damage to a 3rd. And these days, people go into these big 5-man engagements when your carry is still like level 8 or 9. And Luna just isn't that impressive at that point.
Yeah, and this Vengeful Spirit has been actually quite a nice deductor to take the aggression off the Weaver onto the Venge, because people think, you know what, maybe Venge is easy to pick up, because if she is in the fight, and you know, she's being allowed to be in the fight, she's doing a lot of damage, and Weaver is just maybe a bit tougher to take down because of his Shikushi, so it's easier maybe to focus up on the Venge. Sure. But she's just fairly tanky with now and an Ogre Club, and those drums, meaning that she buys a lot of time for Spin to just run around and kill off everybody.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and she has, with her 16 armor, she's pretty tanky at this point. Also, the Wave of Terror is actually a huge deal. People don't really talk about it, but this is -5 armor, so imagine that your team has Aquarius.
Hook shot up on Lopez. Tries to charge away, won't be able to, will go down. Nice hook shot from Eat. That was actually, I believe, a blind hook shot, because there's no wards up for those. And
well, they spotted it very nicely. Bane is still smoked, so they could even go for another, but you will see Spin just getting the hell out of dodge at this point.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That Fiend's Grip still is pretty scary, especially if you're by yourself. We do have 4 people of Uebelst now coming towards the bottom lane, though also with Sky teleporting in. He will try and take some farm, at least the farm that our man maybe leaves for him, which is maybe not that much actually by the looks of it. But Menace, apparently they say, you know what, we're not going to try and defend our tier 1. Rather, we're going to make you defend your tier 2. Yeah, in comes a push with Berserker's Rage. There is no fortification. 1 tier 2 tower going down, and I think the one on the top might have some chance of dropping as well if they rotate top after that one. Sifla is already pushing the lane out, and they are indeed rotating top.
Yeah, this trade is already unfavorable because it's a tier 2 for a tier 1 for Uebelst. And now they're just going to go for a second one because Battle Trance has a hilariously low cooldown.
Yeah, 5 seconds they'll have
5 seconds left on it, yeah. And just to finish the thought about the Wave of Terror, too, this thing lasts, it's got an immense range, and it lasts for 20 seconds. So it basically is a free Cuirass for the fight when you have 2 other physical damage dealers in the form of the Weaver and the Troll.
Yeah, by tower, by the way.
Yeah, like, look at how fast those things drop.
That's
you simply
insane.
cannot contest this push as Uebelst.
Yeah, it's quite scary. What item do you, by the way, think, after, I think BKB, of course, for Vengeful Spirit since he picked up the Ogre Club. What other item would you expect Avenge to build? I'm kind of hoping for a Desolator, but perhaps that's going to be the one for Spin at the moment. Like, both of those are normally heroes that could buy a Desolator for that minus armor extra.
Somebody will go Dezo. I think it'll be Weaver after he finishes Lincoln's, which he just finished. I think it's probably going to be Weaver because Venge, even after BKB, you're still maybe not quite as tanky as you'd like. We might see him go for something like Ags for just the amazing initiation. Or, but honestly, if he wants to go over the top of it, there's other options. But I don't think he'll go Dezo.
Shame. Some of the more pretty sides, because I mean, if he hurts now already, imagine what he can do with the Deso.
For sure. Maybe Weaver won't go it. If Weaver decides that he's getting good enough farm that he wants to just go straight for something bigger, like MKB or Daedalus, then yeah, the Venge will be the natural Deso carrier.
Yeah. But the way game is going, by the way, Exist also feels needed to go for BKB, of course. And they've got a problem, because right now there is a BKB still being built up by the Luna, and she's still pretty slow, because she did indeed went for those drums earlier. Luna actually might be slower soon again, gets charged up, chased down, spin already there, nice cogs coming out from Eat though. Is it going to be enough? Mapiz is able to get it, hits the nether strike as well, and that mech might be enough. Here comes a black hole, but down still goes the Luna, and Troll gets himself a kill, gets himself another kill, double kill for Boogie that finished his BKB before Luna and before Shadow Fiend. And it's starting to get real tough for them to get their BKB on still. Maybe Shadow Fiend will have some soon, but then the question remains still, where is their damage gonna come from?
Yeah, it's not, and you just saw the difficulty of running Black Hole against a Vengeful Spirit, because the swap was instantaneous. The Black Hole barely lasted half a second. Now Spearbreaker is actually getting close to Vlad's. This will also help their team a lot because of just the bonus armor it's going to give them, in addition to the extra lifesteal for Troll when he's in his melee form.
By the way, like, we know that Uebelst is behind. They're actually almost 12k gold behind. They're 10k experience behind. What do they need to do to get back into this game? How do they, like, take this game?
Sure. Well, non-optionally, they have to finish the BKBs, or the first set of items for Luna and Shadow Fiend. Right now, Luna and Shadow Fiend barely even matter in this game. Luna finally hit level 11 just now, so he has this capability of the level 2 Eclipse. They can't fight before this cooldown is up and the Black Hole cooldown is up. Furthermore, they have to make sure they catch the Vengeful Spirit in the Black Hole. Once they have these BKBs and Enigma's Black Hole cooldown is up again, they're probably going to feel a little better about their capability to win team fights. Before then, it's a matter of really good vision and playing as much keep away as possible, because they can't win a fight until those things happen. And that's a lot of benchmarks.
And good luck trying to keep away Menace at the moment. I mean, they do give some time to Uebelst. They're not as aggressive as you may think. Actually charge up towards the top lane. They want to go for Eat, but he's TPing out, so that won't happen. We still have Sky in this, though. Although
I don't think they know he's here yet, but if they spot him...
Then he dies. He TP's out.
Okay.
Smart choice. 5 people of enemy team in his jungle and on the top lane. Yeah, no thanks.
And Armin has Blink, so he can, if he wants to, he can guarantee that he'll catch Vengeful Spirit. Yeah. The issue is there's a lot of other people who can interrupt it too. Spearbreaker can interrupt it because he doesn't have BKB. Troll, I guess he honestly can't, because he can't melee him to bash him without landing up in the Black Hole.
Yeah, next fight, by the way, Sifl also having a BKB. Still up for 10 seconds left, so looking pretty solid. Looking for a swap.
He considered swapping, yeah.
Swapping inside someone tier 3 towers. It's just a state of the game that's it become. I mean,
if he had Force Staff, he could definitely, but
he definitely could. I mean, considering that Spin is the one to build the damage this game, who is indeed going for the Desolator, he has got the Minster Hammers already. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him going for a Force Staff at some point. Still, just get those positionings even better.
Venge carry, typically, this is actually one of the general criticisms of Vengeful Spirit as a carry, is you kind of still have to have the Force Staff, and sometimes even the Aghanims, and then you run out of item slots. Because if you go BKB, Force Ags, Drums, Boots, that's 5 slots! You have like 1 slot left for like Butterfly or whatever.
Exist was about, what was it, 700 gold away from his BKB, and he decided to pick up a Blink Dagger.
Interesting. They want to maybe they feel that Wombo combo is their only way back in, so they want to like Blink Black Hole, Blink Requiem.
It could work if they catch that perfect Black Hole.
Yeah.
Which is
it's a
tough thing to do.
It's a variance play, right? They feel that in a straight up game they don't have the confidence that they can win anymore. But if they get tricksy, maybe they can steal a big team fight win and get back in.
Yeah. Lincoln's on Spin.
Speaking of tricksy, they're trying to bait.
I see them. Oh, Blink forward. Nope, that's nobody there. That's just making Eidolons. We do have Sifla on the bottom lane though. He's by himself. If there was a Blink right now, it could maybe Blink Malefice and they could try to go for some Fiend Script or something.
If they Blink Malefice, he'll just BKB and run. They can't catch him, I think. Because Bane's too far away is the thing. Like, Bane is pretty slow. 365 versus, well, I don't know. Maybe.
Nah, it's too late now anyway. We do have all the top lanes, or the top and the bottom lane, or the top and mid lane rather, pushed out. And only the bottom lane right now is is going the way of towards Menace, but I don't think it's going to be that way for long, because Sifla and Boogie are already waiting for the next creep wave, and they're going to try and take it down. We've got another ganking squad-ish here, though. Enigma and Alex sitting in the jungle, and I know that sounds like the start of a bad rhyme, but they're waiting for someone who's not going to show.
It's always sad when you're waiting for somebody who's not going to show up. Boogie.
Oh, they're just going high ground. Clockwork already dead. Cogs don't really matter. Clockwork buys back there. They want to be here. TP back from R&M. Malefice already getting blocked by the Lincolns of Spin.
So, Clockwork... he force-staffed the troll up into his cogs.
Oh, wait. Hook shot in. Spin. Wow, you're dead for the second time within seconds. Fiends grip still up on Sifla. They might be able to take him down. They do. Incomes exist and down lows exist. Our man might be the next target. One more hit. Spin with another kill. Now goes for Sky. Sky goes down. Now goes for Alex. Alex will end up dropping as well with a Gemini attack. Triple kill for Spin, and only one hero survives. And the only reason that is the case is because he bought back.
Exist, yeah, and you can see it just blinks immediately away.
Yeah.
It's too scary. They can't actually win this game. This is a smart GG. And yeah, this is really a showcase of the new heroes, I feel, this game. The real advantages to the Spirit Breaker and Abaddon as picks, sorry, the Troll Warlord. And even, honestly, Spirit Breaker's strength was shown here too. You know how we always say these heroes like SF, they're strong mids, but they're very gankable? Well, yeah. Spirit Breaker is, you know, a great gank here. He pushes the charge button, and 30 seconds later, somebody's in deep trouble. Yep. Yeah.
We're gonna jump ourselves to the next game. I think a game that a lot of you people have been waiting for. Fnatic taking on Virtus Pro. So stick around for that one, and we'll be right back. Official starting time for the next game is in about 15 minutes, so we might have to wait for that one to happen. But we'll have some music up for you in between, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with another match of Dota 2, which will probably be the highlight of today. I really hope that they live up to the expectations that a lot of people have. No pressure, teams, no pressure.